welcome back to the 49ers First 10-10 podcast presented by Cisco. And with the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers have selected Mykel Williams, a defensive lineman out of the University of Georgia. Lindsay, what do you think of this first pick?
I think this is exactly who the 49ers wanted, even though they didn't want to show their hand too much throughout this pre-draft process. But nothing but high praise from both general manager John Lynch, head coach Kyle Shanahan, also defensive line coach Chris Kocurek. He called him the best edge setter in college football. So I don't really think it gets much better than that. I also had the opportunity to talk to Lynch. He said that in addition to being this athletic defensive lineman that has great arms, the body that you want, he's a great character and culture fit for the 49ers. And that was what he talked about at length. I think one of the better stories to come out of their press availability is that they wanted Mykel Williams. They tried to trade up for him, a failed attempt.
Okay.
So I think the emotions were high in that war room, a little bit of nervous energy. It ended up working out. He fell to number 11. He was their top priority on day one, and they were very relieved, very excited to be able to get him.
Yeah, it sounds like a win-win for the Niners draft room. They kept their stock and they got their guy. A few numbers on Williams. He stands at 6'5", 260 pounds. In college, he racked up 67 tackles, 21 and a half tackles for loss, 14 sacks. He also had a very impressive pro day, turning a lot of heads there. He's a chess piece along the D-line. He serves a lot of versatility for Robert Saleh and the red and gold defense. He's played all along the line, but he's likely going to be used at edge rusher, right? What would that rotation look like when he comes in to maybe start in 2025?
I think one of the traits on the field that they really liked about him is what you mentioned, that versatility. But I think they're envisioning, and I say I think because I heard John Lynch say it, he's going to be the bookend to Nick Bosa if it all works out exactly how they want it to. But he does have that versatility similar to Yetur Gross-Matos, where he can play both inside and outside. So again, a chess piece, like you said. He has experience playing at multiple positions at Georgia. So I think all in all, a really, really good pickup for them.
Awesome. And he also had a moment with local media here in the Bay Area. Just how excited was he to join the Niners?
So excited. So another thing about Williams, he was one of the players that came to Santa Clara for a top 30 visit. He said that it wasn't just one person or one player that he really connected with while being here at Levi Stadium. He felt a really good connection with the coaching staff here and really the entire organization. He said that it was between him and another player that he thought would get drafted by the Niners in that first round. He was so happy to have been the one that got the call. And I think the best moment of his availability was someone asked him, how do you feel about playing with Nick Bosa? His response was, I can't wait to learn from him, and I have so many questions. And I think the questions part, we've heard that from rookies as they get selected by the Niners over the years.
Yeah, awesome. We also saw Malik Mustafa took to Twitter right when we made the pick, and he said he was super excited for Mykel Williams to join the group. What did you hear from John Lynch? You had a moment with him where you could recap day one of the draft. Did he share any insight with you?
Kind of just what I said. In addition to everything he's shown on the field, it really is a big thing to be a culture fit here. And it's from academic advisors, his coaches, scouts, all positive reports on Mykel Williams. I actually thought that it was really interesting. They did not reach out, or Lynch did not reach out personally to Kirby Smart, who's a head coach at the University of Georgia, because this entire draft process is a little bit of sleuthing. You want to keep things close to the chest. It's all kind of a game to make sure that other teams don't know who you're interested in. So yes, they hosted him for a top 30 visit, but you don't want to ask too many questions because then people can kind of catch on to what you might do in the first round. So it was a stealthy play by the 49ers, and it did, in fact, work out.
Yeah, you try to keep your cards close to your chest, especially when we're talking about day one of the draft. And another side update for the San Francisco 49ers faithful, the 2025 schedule will be announced on May 14th. It'll be a Wednesday on NFL Network, so we can get to see which games Mykel will be playing in 2025. But faithful, stay tuned. We've got 3 more picks coming up in day 2. Subscribe to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify for more draft coverage coming to you real soon.